In the shadowed corridors of the Kremlin, where power and secrecy intertwine like the roots of ancient trees, Vladimir Putin's romantic entanglements unfold with a complexity rivaling that of any covert operation. To be a girlfriend of Putin is to step into a world where love intertwines with stringent rules, where beauty meets isolation, and where every smile is a calculated move in a grand strategy. Let's delve into the bizarre yet fascinating rules that govern the intimate lives of the women linked to one of the world's most enigmatic leaders. For Vladimir Putin, the visual representation of his partners is not merely a matter of personal preference, but a strategic choice. His girlfriends are invariably younger and undeniably attractive, aligning with a specific image of virility and vigor that he wishes to project. This insistence on physical appeal is not just superficial, it is deeply entwined with the power dynamics within his relationships. The significant age gap between Putin and his partners also speaks volumes. It suggests a deliberate choice to associate with youth, perhaps as a metaphor for vitality and endurance in the political arena. This dynamic places Putin in a position of authority and control, further reinforcing his dominion not just politically, but personally as well. Lastly, the public and private consequences of these relationships often reflect back on Putin's own image. Each partner must embody perfection, as any flaw in them is seen, under the harsh scrutiny of public and media, as a flaw in his own leadership. Secrecy is the linchpin in the relationships of Vladimir Putin. His romantic life is shrouded in the same cloak of mystery that wraps his political maneuvers. Former partners are bound by a near-sacred pact of silence under threat of severe personal and professional consequences. Historically, the Kremlin has gone to great lengths to suppress rumors and manage the narratives surrounding Putin's love life. For instance, when speculation about his relationship with Alina Kabayeva first surfaced, there was a swift and sweeping effort to quash the rumors, illustrating the Kremlin's tight grip on information regarding Putin's personal affairs. This enforced secrecy serves a dual purpose. It protects Putin's public persona from any potential scandal that could undermine his authority, and it also isolates his partners from the media, effectively keeping them under control. To be romantically involved with Vladimir Putin is to live in a gilded cage. Partners are often kept away from the public eye, living in luxurious but isolated conditions. This isolation can be seen as both a protective measure and a means of control, ensuring that the complexities of his personal life do not spill over into his public image. The psychological impact of such isolation can be profound. Living in luxury but without freedom, Putin's partners experience a life that is outwardly enviable but inwardly restrictive. This solitude is enforced not just physically, but also socially and emotionally, as these women navigate a world where their primary identity is tied to a man whose own identity is a national secret. Religious conversion is another startling expectation placed upon Putin's partners. Alina Kabayeva, who was rumored to have converted to Russian Orthodoxy, is a poignant example. This requirement is not merely about faith, you see, but is a symbolic submission to Putin's personal and nationalistic values. The shift from their original faith to Russian Orthodoxy can be seen as a relinquishing of personal identity and heritage, further aligning themselves with Putin's vision of a homogeneous Russian identity. This not only consolidates his control over their personal lives, but also sends a strong message about the dominance of Russian cultural and religious norms. Putin's relationships are carefully staged to enhance his image of rugged masculinity. His well-publicized pursuits, such as horse riding, hunting, and fishing, often feature his partners in complementary roles that underscore his virility. These activities, widely covered by Russian media, reinforce the persona of a strong, decisive leader, an image that Putin has cultivated meticulously over the years. Public reactions to these displays are mixed. While some admire the strength and traditional masculinity they represent, others see them as contrived. Nonetheless, these acts are a critical part of the narrative Putin wishes to project, not just to his country but to the world. For Putin's partners, involvement in politics is frequently a requirement. This serves multiple functions. It ensures that the women are within the controlled environment of the Kremlin's influence, and it also allows them to serve as extensions of Putin's own political will, Many of Putin's rumored partners, like Alina Kabayeva, have transitioned from careers in sports or entertainment to significant political roles. This move is often swift and facilitated by their association with Putin, suggesting that their political ascent is as much about personal connections as it is about merit. This involvement in politics is not just symbolic. It allows these women a platform from which they can influence public policy and national discourse, albeit often in ways that align closely with Putin's agendas. Public appearances are choreographed with precision, calculated to convey a specific image of Putin and his partner. These appearances are rare and strategically timed, often coinciding with significant political moments or designed to distract from domestic or international crises. The impact of these appearances goes beyond mere public interest. They are a powerful tool in shaping public perception. By controlling when and how his romantic life is showcased, Putin maintains a tight grip on his personal narrative, ensuring that public attention remains aligned with his political objectives. Control is a central theme in Putin's romantic relationships. It manifests not only in the stringent rules that govern his partners' lives, but also in the subtle ways they are expected to comport themselves. Compliance is rewarded with luxury and protection, while dissent is met with swift and often harsh repercussions. The long-term effects of such relationships are significant. While some partners may benefit from their proximity to power, others find themselves unable to reclaim their independence or identity once the relationship ends. This dynamic reflects broader themes of control and compliance that are evident in Putin's political reign. Vladimir Putin's love rules offer a fascinating insight into the complex interplay between power, control, and intimacy. These rules are not just about maintaining a public image or personal preference. They are about reinforcing a regime that thrives on secrecy, control, and an unyielding grip on power. As we reflect on these aspects, it becomes clear that in Putin's world, love is not just a personal affair, but a matter of state. In the shadowed corridors of the Kremlin, where power and secrecy intertwine like the roots of ancient trees, Vladimir Putin's romantic entanglements unfold with a complexity rivaling that of any covert operation.